Hey there, welcome back to my channel. My name is Allison and today we're doing a low buy check-in. So I have been on a low buy for the year of 2025. We are now 7+ months in, and so today in this video I'm going to share with you all my biggest lessons, the mistakes that I've made along the way. And if you're nosy like me, we'll get into the numbers at the end, the details of like what I've actually bought, what I've spent my money on, how much I've spent over the last 7 months, and how much of my budget I have left for the year. If you're new to my channel and you want to check out my low buy rules, I'm not going to rehash those because I laid out for myself so I can be successful for the year ahead. There's 25 items, things, categories of products that I'm not buying this year to support me in my low buy year. You can check out that video. So those are things that I'm not going to be detailing here, but are a part of my low buy playlist. If you're interested in this type of challenge, I would love for you to check it out or subscribe and follow along. I have found that my low buy year has been so helpful for me in many ways. One, it has helped me end a lot of just my mindless scrolling and shopping that I used to do, that I didn't even realize how I spent a lot of my time was just by mindlessly shopping, and just like, even if I wasn't actually spending a lot of money, just scrolling, checking things out, clicking on influencer links, how much is that thing, building wish lists on Amazon. There's just a lot of time that I spent shopping. And one of the reasons why I'm doing a low buy and not a no buy is because I want to build the habit of being a conscious consumer. Consumerism in capitalistic worlds is just a part of our lives. So for me, going on a no buy was too restrictive, and I'm not trying to like climb my way out of a lot of debt or something like that, which I think no buys can really serve a great purpose for people. But for me, low buy is that perfect mix of how do I take back my time? How do I shop with more intention? How do I take back some of that mindless scrolling time that I was just shopping online? And how do I build this habit that can support me for years to come and spend less money, of course, especially in 2025 with things only getting more expensive? It's been really helpful to like be on a budget. Those are the main reasons why I'm doing this. And without further ado, we'll first start with my top 3 learnings. My first and main lesson that I have learned for myself is that what you track actually gets measured. And I had to put in a system for myself that would actually help me be successful in tracking my very small low buy budget. So if you watch my low buy rules, so for me, my low buy budget is just for my own personal spending. It's not around our household spending. It's not around like buying gifts or replacement products for the home. It is truly just around my own personal spending. That's what I wanted to get a handle of, because that is the type of spending I realized that I wouldn't track. I would be out at, with some friends at a cute boutique and buy a pair of earrings, or would be at a store, but then I'd also be like, ooh, this is an interesting new, all natural facial moisturizer. Let me get that too, even if I already had some in my medicine cabinet. It's just around really putting some structure and rules around my own personal spending. So tracking it is key for me, and to have something really simple when I track it. I didn't need a big old spreadsheet because, again, my low buy budget is $125 a month. That is a very small amount, especially this year in 2025 when everything is expensive and just getting more expensive. That money goes really fast. So for me, I have found I always have my phone nearby. I use the Notes app and I just track every single purchase that I make for the month. Make sure that it doesn't go over $125. If I have any money, it can roll over into the next month. Tracking has been key. The other thing is having accountability. I have found that one of the major mistakes I made, watch a whole video that I made about the story time of how I overspent my low buy budget and what happened and the lessons I learned from that. So I want the tea on my major mistake. I made a whole video on that. What I found is that the accountability, knowing that I had to come here for my own self because I like making these videos and tell you all that I messed up, that accountability keeps me anchored to my monthly goal. It's really hard to set a goal in January and be sitting here in August and be like, I'm still doing it. Like I'm still tracking my low buy budget. I made a mistake, but I'm still working on it. I'm still learning these habits. There have been so many goals that we often set at the beginning of the year, and come August, like, can you even remember them? Are you still doing them? I hope so, but I've been through many a New Year's, and many times this far in the year, they are no longer like a goal, a habit, something that I'm working on. But for me, the accountability of having you all has been so key. So maybe the accountability is a friend you can text at the end of every month, a partner in your house that can talk about or share a budget together that you're going to work on. The accountability and tracking has been so key to making this successful. The other main learning that I've had is waiting on my cart. That has been like such a linchpin in being able to be successful in my low buy journey. My personal rule is 3 days before I can actually hit purchase. For me, that is just time that I can like slow down the dopamine response of just like, woo, get the thing. It like lights up our brain. It cools that down. It reminds me to look at my notes app, see what's going on in there. Do I actually have that budget? Is that what I want to spend it on? You know, do I have any trips coming up? It just gives me some time to evaluate the month ahead, cool off the dopamine, make sure I'm making an intentional purchase. So waiting on the cart, some people wait 24 hours, some people wait a week. Find a method and a time frame that works for you, because waiting on that cart has been so helpful for me staying within my low buy budget. So those are my top like lessons that I hit when I reflect on why am I still being successful months later in doing this low buy budget. It's having an easy way to track it that isn't cumbersome, that I actually do it, having accountability, and waiting on my cart. The last one I will like, the bonus one in there is I know why I'm doing this. Those are the things that I was talking about before the lessons around like wanting to be more intentional with my time, wanting to be more intentional with my money. Those whys are also a part of why I know I have been successful. If I didn't have why I'm doing this, like, it's hard to do this. So having those whys to anchor me into building this habit is so important to being successful. So I guess that's like the bonus. And in my low buy rules video, I talk about making sure that if you want to set yourself up, maybe you just want to do it for a month, the next calendar month, set yourself up for a low buy, set yourself a rule. What is that money going to be spent on? How much are you allowed to spend on it? What is your cart time that you need to wait? Set yourself some guidelines and try it for a month, but know why you're doing it. Are you trying to pay off debt? Are you trying to shop with more intention? Are you trying to take back some of the time that gets sucked into online shopping and mindless scrolling? Setting those whys for me has been so helpful. And then the tactical pieces of like accountability, easy tracking, waiting on the cart are the mechanisms that help me stay committed to that original why. All right, so now a highlight of some of the misses that I've had. So I haven't been 100% successful, but I feel like because I am committed to learning and building this muscle, mistakes come and go, and I haven't just like been like, well, I made a mistake, so now it's time to throw in the towel and stop trying. And I think that has also led to the success, is that I've allowed myself to make some mistakes. I reflect on them, I learn from them, and I keep going. Find a way when you're building a new habit to not be so hard on yourself, to let yourself mess up because it's new. It's a new habit. We're not going to be a pro at something that we want to learn how to do. We have the learning curve that we have to go on. So allowing myself to learn this new habit, mess up, pause and be like, ooh, I messed up. Why did I mess up? And then keep at it has been really helpful. If you want the tea on some of my mistakes, again, I made a video on my major one when I actually overspent my budget of the month of May. So if you want to watch that, check that out. But there's also some other rules and guidelines that I set for myself that I haven't done. One of them is in the month of March, I was having a pretty down month. Months have been hard in 2025. There's been a lot of like heaviness and anxiety with this year, and just in my own personal life, it was a hard month. I impulse bought this case and this poppet socket for this phone. I had a phone case that I had for years. I knew I wanted a new one. I was shopping for it online, spending time shopping. And I was just like, I know this is the one I want and I want to buy it right now. And there was a voice in my head of like, no girl, you're on a low buy and you're supposed to wait on your cart for 3 days. And I was just like, no, I don't want to. I know that I want this. I didn't want to follow the rules like a defiant teenager and was like, I'm not going to. And I didn't. I knew that I was doing it. I checked my budget. So like I didn't overspend my budget by buying those 2 items. And it might seem so frivolous. I only have $125 a month. I got to track every single purchase that I make. A new phone case and a new poppet socket was like, I had to track it. And so I did check in on my budget. I did know that I had the money to buy it, but I didn't wait for 3 days. And I bought it and I like it, like clearly still months later. I love my phone case. I like my poppet socket, like everything's fine, but I didn't wait for those 3 days. And I know why I didn't wait. And it's because I was bummed out. I was stressed. I wanted some like quick dopamine. I wanted something like a little exciting. And so I did it. And so it's knowing that these habits and shopping can also really be emotional, which can make it a lot harder than just the finance bros make it seem of like set a budget and stick to it. It's like these things are emotional. They give us something, right? They're giving us a purchase of our ideal self when we buy that fancy bag or whatever it is. It's just clocking when you're in a more emotional state, at least for me. Like I clock now when I'm in a more emotional state. I like cool off. How else can I tend to myself? Do I need a break? Where else can I find like some hits of joy in my life that isn't from shopping? So that's actually the only time that I haven't waited on my cart. And again, I reflected on why and I continued to move on. I took that lesson with me. That mistake was made in March and I haven't made it since then. Some things that I have bought that were actually on my 25 no buy list. So to help me be successful with this low buy journey, I actually set a list for myself of 25 categories and types of products that I'm just not buying in 2025. I made a whole video on it that you can check out. In that, I felt like if I really like shrunk the amount of things I could actually spend my budget on, I'd be able to be successful. I had this list and the things that I know as of now, I need to do a little like deeper dive, but as of now, I know that there are some things that I've bought off that list that I wasn't supposed to. And one of them is, one of my categories was purses. No new purses were allowed to come into my house in 2025. Well, I bought one purse. I bought a clear purse. And the reason is because I went to Beyonce concerts, plural, amazing, so incredible. Cowboy Carter, if you're a Beyonce fan, please let me know down below. I went to multiple Beyonce concerts, and I say multiple because I actually went to 3. I regret nothing. It's so amazing. But to go into those venues, you have to have a clear purse. And I was going with girlfriends that I would have borrowed it from. So it's like, could I borrow a clear purse from someone? Like I had that thought, like I don't have a clear purse. Can I borrow it? And it's like, no, they all have to use their clear purse too. I bought one for like super cheap. I did use my budget for it. Like just bought one. I have one now, like stashed away in case, for the next venue. But that's just like a reality of needing it for a specific thing. It wasn't because it was like some impulse buy or some really cool new purse, because trust me, like, I love purses. That's why I put it on my list, is to like make this thing harder for myself. So I haven't bought just any like fashion, really cool, like new purses that I would love to buy, but I haven't. But I did buy a purse technically. So that's one thing I wanted to share with you all. The other thing is lip products were on my no. And these are the two that I have actually bought this year that, I said no buying new lip products. This one is interesting because this one is like, this is how sneaky, like, this kind of shopping can be, and just kind of like mindless at certain times. So I really like shopping on Vitacost. I live out in Joshua Tree, California. We don't have like tons of access to all kinds of like all natural types of and organic foods. I mean, there is a lot of options here. It's not like it's the middle of nowhere. But anyways, I shop on Vitacost for some like specific things. I saw this Pacifica vegan collagen lip plumper, like, and I was like, oh, I've been wanting like a lip plumper. That sounded so fun to try, and and just like added it to the cart. And then it came, and I'm like unpacking, like the bulk rice and the supplements and all this stuff that we bought. And then I saw this and I was like, damn it. Like it just snuck into the cart, like unconsciously, as I'm buying like, all natural bar soaps and like dishwasher detergent. And then like, this was a total mistake, but that's like how mindless shopping can be for these things that just find their way into our house and eat away at our budget. So this was a mistake, but I have it. And this one, this is the Burt's Bees matte lip crayon in Redwood Forest. This one was a lot like the phone case. Not that I impulse bought it, so I didn't. It was in my cart. I was thinking about it for a lot of days because I knew it was like a no-no on my list. But the reason why I bought this is because the one that I had actually expired. So like all natural products will often smell like crayons. Like if you remember that smell from childhood, like lip products or all natural makeup, when it goes off, if it smells like crayons, it's time to move it on. So this is a lip crayon that I've had in the past, and mine expired. I threw it away, and I was like going about my life with what I have, and I was really missing it. I love wearing a brick red. It's what I have on today. It's like one of my favorite lip colors, and nothing that I had in my very small makeup collection that I had fit the bill. And I was like, you know what? This is like under $10, or maybe it is $10, but it's like so minimal. I used my budget for it, and I was like, I really want to replace it. I do not want to go 9 more months without having it. I love wearing this color, so I bought it. Those are some of the mistakes and the hitches that I made, in case you want the tea on the choices that I've been making. But again, it's like I'm making really clear choices, except for that one lip gloss. There's no more mindless shopping happening. And that feels so good to like have taken back that power over my money, take back that time that I would just like spend like building carts and checking things out and following links that would just like fly in front of my face through YouTube and Instagram. It feels really good to be so conscious about my money. Besides the 1 month that I overspent my budget in that video that I mentioned before, every other month I've actually had money roll over into the next month. So like my budget can grow. So if I didn't spend like $25, then the next month I'll have $150 that I can spend. And like, that's how I set up my rules. And every single month, except for that one, I've had money roll over. And what that shows me is that because I'm being so like conscious about how I'm spending my money, I often won't spend it. Like I'll be out at a thing and I'll be like, oh, do I really want to spend $25 on that candle? Like it smells so nice, it looks so nice, it's all with like essential oils, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, oh, but later this month I'm going here and maybe I'll want that. Maybe I'll find something else I want more. So it's just like every single thing I'm thinking about it and weighing it out. And so it's like what I have found is because I'm tracking my budget so closely, I actually often am not spending it fully. And so that's pretty cool to see. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting the $125 to like disappear within the first week or two. And then for my rules, I would be on a no buy for the rest of the month until the new month clicked in and my budget became available to me. So that hasn't been the case, and that's been interesting. And so far for the year, As of the end of July, for my $1,500 budget that I have for the year, which is $125 a month, I've currently spent $793. To me, it feels like a super big win because even with my one mistake of overspending, I like recorrected it and I'm still on track. Ending the year with money not spent or spent to the exact penny, like either is a win for me, just not overspending. For me, it's just like learning this habit of being really conscious about how I'm spending my money and how I'm spending my time when I'm online. It feels like it's working. I really encourage you to give it a try if you've been thinking about it, because I spent months thinking about doing a low buy. I was like, oh, I'm going to do it this month. But because I didn't set my why, set my rules, set how I was going to track my budget, because I didn't put the structure and like the infrastructure around the desire to do a low buy, it faded. You know, I made it a couple weeks, but because I took the time, set my rules, I have been successful. And that feels really good to like feel proud of myself for like setting my intentions and like 7 months later still getting after it. So just want to encourage you that you can do it. You could be successful. Please let me know in the comments down below if you are on a low buy or a no buy journey and your top tips or learnings. I would love to hear it and have a conversation with you down there. Please subscribe if you'd like to follow along with my low buy journey. I would love to have you here. And again, I will link my playlist down in the description below so that you can keep watching if you're interested. And I hope to see you in my next video and that you have a really great day. Bye, everyone.